Guardians of the Galaxy, the new film brought to you by the guy who made such classics as this. This could go either way.
FarfetchdReviews.
Guardians of the Galaxy is the latest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe made by James Gunn and Kevin Feige. I don't think I need to say that it was made by Kevin Feige. That kind of goes down as red because he helped out with all the Marvel films in the Cinematic Universe. Made by James Gunn. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, even though I've seen all of the Marvel films up to this point, and I have loved, like, every one of them except for the 4 films. I've not seen the 4 films for whatever reason, but I've seen all the rest and I've liked all of them. I wasn't really that hyped for Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I was looking forward to it, don't get me wrong, but unlike Winter Soldier, The Avengers, and all those other films, I wasn't, like, anticipating the release, I wasn't watching the trailers, I didn't really know anything about the film until I went and saw it. And all of my friends were going crazy for it, I just wasn't, for whatever reason. You'd think a film about a talking raccoon in a giant tree would get my attention, but for whatever reason, it didn't. And I don't know why I keep saying for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And now that I've seen it, what do I think of it? It was pretty bloody fantastic. Not perfect, by any means, but pretty fantastic. There were a few points in the film that made me like, a little bit iffy, a little bit, kind of took me out of the experience a little bit, but the positives outweighed the negatives so astronomically that the negatives don't even factor into my opinion or experience at all, because they were so teeny tiny compared to all the good things. Starting off with the story, Guardians of the Galaxy centers around Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. Not Pratt. I'm a Pratt for saying Pat. Guardians of the Galaxy primarily centers around Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt, and let me say, he does a fantastic job. Everyone does. Let me just get that right out of the way right now. Everyone in Guardians of the Galaxy did a fantastic job. I'll talk about the performances and the casting in a minute, but the story was really, really good, really awesome. There were a few things about the story that were kind of predictable, in my opinion. I don't think the story is the high point of the film. What it kind of boils down to is everyone's going after this MacGuffin, the orb. I can't remember what the orb is called, but it's got the Infinity Stone inside it, so I guess I'll just call it the Infinity. Everyone's going after the Infinity Stone, and a lot of films kind of have that kind of plot. One example, a really stupid example, is the Adventures of Billy and Mandy movie. Everyone's going after something, I can't remember what it... I think it's a glove? No, I can't remember. Everyone's going after something and it's like a race, like Rat Race, that film, where everyone's going after the one. Yeah, it kind of boils down to that, and like, at its core essentials, but it is, you know, it does add a lot of new things to make it feel interesting and cool. And there's also the cliche of nobody likes each other at first, but by the end of the film they all like each other, which everything does nowadays. Why can't there just be a film where they don't get along, where there's like a group of people and they don't really ever connect, like Breaking Bad? Why don't they do that? And they're just like stuck together in life, like Jake and Amir, I guess. I don't know. It'd be cool to see, but whereas there are a lot of cliches and predictability in the story, there is also a lot of original stuff that makes it feel fresh and unique and really, really cool. Like interesting characters. That is a cool segue right there. You all know I'm going to talk about these guys at some point. Rocket Raccoon and Groot, I just called him Rocket Raccoon, didn't I? I knew Vin Diesel was going to be good as Groot because, I mean, the Iron Giant, Vin Diesel's always, you know, really good at the deep, you know, stoic voice. But Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, holy crap! I did not hear Bradley Cooper in that voice. He did an amazing job. All I really know him from, apart from Guardians of the Galaxy, is The Hangover, where he played, you know, just an okay role. I don't really remember him that much. He just played a normal guy. And I was like, I don't know, Rocket Raccoon seems like a crazy... He kind of reminds me of Max from Sam and Max. Like a crazy lunatic with a gun. It's a lot like Max from Sam and Max. Wait, is it Max or is it Sam? Rocket Raccoon reminds me of him. I can't remember if that's Sam or Max, but him. A crazy animal with a gun who likes destruction. And I don't know, I didn't really think Bradley Cooper would be able to pull that off, but he did. He really did. There wasn't really anyone in the film who did a bad job. It was weird seeing Glenn Close playing Nova. That was really weird to see. Peter Serafinowicz. I did not expect to see Peter Serafinowicz in Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't even know what I know him from. He's just that actor who is in things. Peter Serafinowicz. Why was he in this film? Was he a friend of James Gunn's? He had to have been. I can't imagine James Gunn saying, oh yeah, Peter Serafinowicz, he's perfect for that one role. That doesn't amount to anything. I mean, he did a good job, don't get me wrong. Everyone did a good job, but it was just kind of weird to see Peter Serafinowicz in a Marvel film. And Michael Rooker as well, as Yondu. I mean, I think everyone will know him as Merle from Breaking Bad. Walking Dead, wrong show. Most people will know Michael Rooker as Merle from Walking Dead, the brother of Daryl, everyone's favourite character. But yeah, he was awesome as Yondu. He was really, really cool. I think I'd say the weakest role in the film was either Nebula or Gamora, which are sisters in the film, which is weird. Oh no, maybe Ronan. I don't know. I feel like I need to give special props to Batista for Drax the Destroyer. He's one of the more forgettable characters in the film because like pretty much everyone I went to see the film with forgot his name. They remembered everyone else's name, but it's like, who was that guy? That blue guy with the red on him? I don't remember what was his name again? Oh my god, he was amazing. He was really good. I didn't expect anything from him, but he was awesome. First The Rock, now Batista. Who knew wrestlers could be so good in films? I'll talk about some of the funny things that he said in the film, but I'll go on about them in the spoiler section. There's a lot of things that I want to go on about for the spoilers, but I'll go on about them when I'm talking about the spoilers. Yeah. Ronan, he was the villain of the film. I didn't really buy him all that much. He was kind of just the guy who was there. He was the obligatory villain. You know, I don't know, I didn't really get much from him. He was alright, I mean, don't get me wrong, he was okay, but he wasn't intimidating, he wasn't threatening, he was just there, you know? He did his job, but yeah, he did something really, really stupid in the film towards the end that kind of annoyed me a bit, but again, I'll go on about that later. I feel like everyone who's seen Guardians of the Galaxy will be able to relate to me when I say this. I have not been able to stop listening to the soundtrack as soon as I got home when I saw it in the cinema. I am addicted to it now. I said it on my Facebook and I said it on my Twitter, and I'm gonna say it here. When I listened to the soundtrack before seeing the film, I was like, yeah, no, it's alright. Hooked on a Feeling, a Pina Colada song, you know, Ain't No Mountain High. They're all good songs, they're all okay. You know, Want You Back by the Jackson 5. They're all alright. I won't put them on my iPod, but they're okay. But I knew that once I saw the film, given the context of the film, I would fall in love with the album. And oh my god, I couldn't anticipate how much I fell in love with the album. I've not been able to get hooked on a Feeling or the Pina Colada song stuck out my head since I saw the film. I've been hooked on that album, not just hooked on a feeling. I've been hooked on a feeling that this might be I ruined it. I ruined the joke. I'm hooked on a feeling that this might be my favourite film. There we go, I got it in the end, nailed it. By the way, I feel like I should have said this at the beginning, but I feel like I need to stress, I'm not the kind of guy that ever sees a film in cinema more than once. Once I've seen a film in cinema, I'm like, okay, I saw it. I might go cinema to watch another film, but I never see the same film twice, because cinema tickets, they're pretty expensive. They're like 10 quid, even for a student, like, card ticket thing. They're pretty expensive, so I'm not gonna buy a ticket twice for the same experience because I don't think that's worth it. With that in mind, I'm considering seeing Guardians of the Galaxy in cinemas for the 3rd time because that film, it's doing something to me. It's making me spend all of my money on it. The last film that I saw in cinema twice was Lilo and Stitch. I don't know why. I don't know why Lilo and Stitch was the film that I couldn't take in everything on the first go through. I didn't see Inception twice. I got that. I understood that clearly. But Lilo and Stitch, I was like, I might need to see that again. Like it's a Tarantino film or something. But oh my god, the soundtrack. That soundtrack elevates it above pretty much every other space movie I've ever seen because it gives it such a memorable character, personality. If I were to go and watch Star Trek or Star Wars now, it'd be boring by comparison because it doesn't have the same fun, wacky, tongue-in-cheek 80s, you know, fun, you know, a self-aware vibe that, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy has, because it's so exciting and fresh and new, and all you wouldn't think that such a unique soundtrack would go with a space film, but it does perfectly, amazingly. I loved it. I'm getting so listen to my voice. Look at what Guardians of the Galaxy is doing to my voice. I'm getting so excited talking about it. Oh my! I don't really know what else there is to talk about before I go into spoiler territory. I guess the special effects, they were pretty good. There were a few points where Rocket Raccoon looked a little bit out of place, like the lighting might have been a little bit weird on him. Nothing bad, like he didn't take me out of it, but I don't know, maybe like on Rocket Raccoon and Groot, they looked a little bit too bright in contrast to everything else. I don't know. Nothing too bad. The special effects were good, apart from that. You know, nothing terrible. And there was a lot of practical effects in it too, like a lot of practical, I tried to say, but my voice just went out for a second there. I really appreciate how there was a lot of practical effects in it too, like Gamora, her green skin was really cool, what's his, Drax, that proves it, I couldn't even remember his name, proving my point from earlier. He looked really cool, Yondu, He looked awesome. Pretty much everyone looked awesome. And James Gunn is awesome at style, and he really, really did it. Guardians of the Galaxy has such a memorable, unique, creative style, and it's awesome. Really awesome. That's pretty much all I have to say about the film. And so that's Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm now going to spend the rest of this review talking about spoilers and things that might ruin the story for some people. So if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, please don't watch. I just ran upstairs. I'm trying to pretend that I'm not out of breath just because I ran upstairs. I'm so unfit. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about spoilers now, so please, if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, please don't ruin it for yourself. Please, even if you're not going to see it in cinemas and you're going to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray, please, seriously. I know you're not going to stop watching it. I'm not going to persuade you to stop, so I might as well just stop right now. Seriously, you're just going to ruin it for yourself, and that would be a shame because this was an amazing film, and you don't want to spoil it for yourself. Don't do this. You've got one more chance. Alright, it's not my fault, it's yours. I'm going to talk about spoilers now. Earlier on in this review, I was saying how, at some point in the film, Ronan, the villain, the bad guy, the baddie, you know, for the layman's, I was saying how at some point in the film he did something annoying that bothered me. That something was, he let himself get distracted by Star-Lord's dancing. Why was he so easily distracted? Like, Star-Lord was like dancing just before he was about to throw down the gauntlet thing, and he was like, "What are you doing?" It's like, just, if you throw down that hammer thing, you've won! You've killed everyone. Just because he's dancing, you're getting distracted. And he ends up getting killed because he's an idiot. He deserves to die. Darwinism. Idiocy. Survival of the fittest. When it comes to the brain. But yeah, that was stupid. For like a full 30 seconds, Star-Lord was like, yeah, dancing to a song that I don't know. And Ronan's just there like, what are you doing? Dancing what are you doing? A song that I don't know. What? You've already seen it, so I don't need to explain the scene. But yeah, I was like, come on, really? He's dancing and you're getting distracted by it. And I'm dwelling too much on this, I know I am, but it was stupid to me. Another thing that bothered me was in the scene when Yondu's aircraft had crashed and he was in that field and he used his weird quiver arrow thing to get headshot everyone pretty much. And it took like 20 seconds for it to get round everyone, meaning that was the last person that arrow killed. He had 20 seconds to shoot him. Why didn't he do anything? There was literally so stupid. There was literally a shot where the arrow was like there, and it was like a point of view shot of the arrow going through the air, and there was a guy just there like that with a gun, and it just zoomed in on him, and it just went. It's like you were just standing there waiting to die. There was a guy in like an aircraft, whatever you want to call it, and he was just. There was a shot of him just like that in the cockpit, and it's like you just saw like 10 guys get killed. Why did you shoot him? Why? Idiot! I'm getting unnecessarily mad at this, but it was stupid. Also, another thing, a continuity error, is earlier on in the film, Rocket was like, "What's a raccoon? I've never heard of raccoons because I've never been to planet Earth where raccoons live, so I've never seen a raccoon." And then later on in the film, he's like, "Yeah, I don't have that long a lifespan anyway." How does he know that? Another thing that I don't think I would have noticed if it wasn't for yourmoviesucks.org pointing out, but because he did, it bothered the hell out of me. When Groot first shouts, "I am Groot," his mouth looks so weird and out of place. Like, let me do it right now and you'll notice it. He goes, "I am Groot." Did you notice it? It went ooh instead of ah. The mouth shape was like ah, but it went ooh. It looks weird. Like Your Movie Sucks said, they probably did that because it looks cooler for him to be like ah instead of ooh, like a weird bird call, like the screaming "I am Groot." That would look a bit weird, but still, it was a bit weird either way, I guess. I'm out of focus, don't worry, I noticed it. My videos are always out of focus. I noticed it this time though, don't worry. Oh my god, it's getting darker. That's how long this review's going on for. It's like, the lighting, oh my god, I need to hurry this up. I'm trying to think if there are other things that kind of bothered me, but I can't think. It was a bit of a cliche that at the beginning his mom was like, "Hold my hand," and then she died. That was a bit, it's like, okay, come on. But yeah, I guess it makes sense in the context of the film, whatever. And none of these things are like, it's not that good. I'm not, you know, it's just things that I noticed and I want to talk about because reasons. Oh well, there probably were more things I wanted to talk about, but I forgot, so I guess they couldn't have been that important. Oh, and yeah, I might as well talk about the ending scene, the after credits thing. I've never seen Howard the Duck. I don't really know anything about Howard the Duck, so I don't really have any opinion of it. I don't think it was really that good. It kind of felt like they were like, oh god, we don't have an after credits scene. There's no necessary thing to have at the credits. How about we just have a cameo? Okay, cool. Howard the Duck. Sure, that'd be funny. As for whether there'll be a Howard the Duck film, maybe a one-off, a one-shot or whatever. Maybe. It's cool that there are one-shots, because they're a thing in the comics as well. And it's cool that films, the Marvel films, are literally being treated like comics now. I might do a one-shot, might do one issue. A little bit of a tangent, but yeah. And so that's Guardians of the Galaxy. If I had to give any criticisms at all, I might say that it was a little bit overstuffed. Like, I can imagine that Marvel were like, oh, make it half an hour shorter. And James Gunn was like, oh no, I'll have to squeeze it in. But I don't know, I feel like, the first time round I was like, yeah, I don't know, because it was so fast-paced, but the second time I was able to watch it more without being like, oh god, I don't want to miss everything that's going on. And I feel like I definitely benefited from that second viewing, because I now think this is the best Marvel film. After the first time round, I thought The Avengers was a lot better, but now, Guardians of the Galaxy is, to me, clearly better. After the first time that I saw it, I did think that The Avengers was a lot better. It was still up there, like my second favourite or my third favourite Marvel film to date. But now that I've seen it again and I've let everything, you know, take... Not that it was really that complex of a film, you know, in general, but I don't know, I feel like first time round I was struggling to keep up a little bit. I wasn't expecting it to be so breakneck speed, but after the second time I appreciate it a lot more. I think it was amazing. My favourite Marvel film today. I can't bloody wait for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy to show up in any other Marvel film in any way, shape or form. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, and I know that what I'm about to say is a really bold thing to say, and it is the thing that I did originally say about the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, but Guardians of the Galaxy is the new Star Wars. I said it now, I've said it out loud because it's just so different, unique, it revolutionised space films, in my opinion. It brought fun and humour back to, you know, films in a way. That might have been a bit too bold. It's not that Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, they didn't have a problem of being too serious. They still had their funny moments. But Guardians of the Galaxy just brought back some well-deserved fun, awesome, like, creativity, originality. It has such a memorable vibe to it. It's just amazing. I loved it. Maybe it was a little bit overstuffed with content. And another thing, I think it was interesting to see how it was like, I wonder if I'm still going to connect with these characters in the same way that I connected with Tony Stark, Captain America and Thor, without having a film based around each character leading up to it. You know what I mean? It's like, will I still connect with Gamora and Drax and Rocket as if they had their own film before Guardians of the Galaxy? Because, you know, in the Avengers, they had their own film to develop their character. In this, they don't. So, I was thinking, well, Guardians of the Galaxy, will that be able to juggle, you know, introducing us to 5 different characters and still keep it, you know, flowing and good without making some characters feel like in a bit, you know, in the background, you know. And yeah, they did, is the point I'm trying to make it. It was good, really, really good. I do think they should make, like, a Rocket Raccoon standalone film, a Gamora a Drax standalone film, just so we can really get to know more about the characters, because I don't feel like they went into enough with the characters, because, I mean, you know, it was the first in a franchise, because they are making another film. They will be showing up in a lot more films, so I don't think it's probably fair to say I don't know enough about Gamora or Rocket. So, you know, because this is just the start. I'm rambling so much, I've already talked about the film long enough. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought it was really good. Let me know what you guys thought. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, seeing as now that I've reviewed Guardians of the Galaxy, let me know if you would like to see a review of Star Trek Into Darkness, or seeing as it was a Marvel film, let me know if you'd like to see me review the Marvel films in chronological order, because I'm going to be watching them again. I bought this on Blu-ray just yesterday, so I'm going to be watching all of these again, you know, just to catch... Oh, I'm going to be showing them to my mum, and we're going to start, you know, just to catch her up on the Marvel stuff. So if you want to see more movie reviews like this, if you want me to cut down on the rambling, because I know more than anyone I've a rambling problem. So, if you want me to get more to the point, because I have a feeling this is going to be like 20 minutes long, so let me know what you thought of this video. I'm not really good at vloggy improv reviews, so let me know if you want to see more of these. Thanks for watching my first ever modern movie review, if you know what I mean, because the last one was like a Rise of the Planet of the Apes. They might not be very often, because I don't go to the cinemas very often, but let me know in general. Let me know what you thought of Guardians of the Galaxy, let me know what you thought of this review, let me know if you want to see more, comment below, let me know. I am now Jeremy Johns. I'm going to punch the screen, I already made that joke. Thank you for watching, everyone. See you next time. Hooked on the feeling.